Welcome to Prescribing Lifestyle, the podcast that's all about empowering you to live your healthiest, happiest life. I'm your host, Dr. Avi Charlton, and each week we'll dive into the latest research, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you optimize your well-being. From nutrition and fitness to mental health and mindfulness, we'll explore every aspect of lifestyle medicine, giving you the tools you need to make informed decisions and take control of your health. Whether you're looking into preventing disease, managing chronic conditions, or simply elevate your quality of life, Prescribing Lifestyle is here to guide you on your journey to wellness. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to embark on this transformative adventure towards a healthier, happier you. Let's dive in. Hello, welcome to another episode of Prescribing Lifestyle. I'm going to talk about understanding self-sabotaging behaviour with eating. This is a topic that's come up in my Low Carb Pro membership program just a few days ago. So there's a few members that suggested some topics. When you join this Low Carb Pro membership, you can suggest topics and we have an agreement on what topics to discuss. So we come up with self-sabotaging behavior, especially with eating. So have you ever wondered why, despite our best intentions, we often sabotage our own efforts to eat healthy? We know what to do and we don't want to do it. We just can't get ourselves to be motivated. Or we have our best intentions, we set off good in our day, we have a best breakfast, we eat eggs, or we do intermittent fasting, and then we have a great lunch, and then after a long day at work, we come home and we snack non-stop, we get back into our old habits and we get out our chips and chocolate and eat a dinner, and then after dinner we keep eating our junk food snacks. That is self-sabotaging behavior. Why do we do that? Why is it that we know what's best for us, but we just can't stick to this lifestyle? Some people have a good week and Monday to Friday they stick to their routine, they go to work and they have intermittent fasting, they have a great lunch, great dinner, and then they are doing so well, but on their weekends they just can't stick to it. Maybe they have some social function, maybe they decide to treat themselves with going out for dinner or calling Uber Eats. Why is it that we know what to do and we just can't stick to it? Or let's say it's not eating. Maybe you know exercise is good for you and you have the best intention of going out for a walk or going to the gym, started an exercise program, or your physio is giving you some exercises. And at the end of the day, you just can't do it. You can't be motivated and you decided to sit on the couch and scroll on your phone or watch TV. Why is it that we just can't do it? So I am just sharing a bit of personal experience. I'm pretty bad with nuts, and I know that sometimes after work I'm driving home and I actually crave the nuts because it's salty and crunchy, and especially while I'm cooking dinner, I have a habit of eating and snacking on a few nuts. So that is my own self-sabotaging behavior, and I'm quite aware of it. And why is it that I know it's not good for me and I still sometimes give in and do it, even though I know that it's not good for me? I'm going to give you a few reasons, and sometimes just understanding these reasons will be really helpful for you to pay attention to what's happening in your mind. So again, self-sabotaging behavior refers to actions or patterns that prevent us from achieving our goals, often driven by unconscious fears or negative self-beliefs. How are we talking to ourselves? Are we talking ourselves in a good way or a bad way. So, first of all, there's psychological factors that triggers these self-sabotaging behaviors. Our emotions have a lot to do with it. If we're stressed or if we're sad, things going on in our life, stresses, busy day at work, and boredom can often be a psychological factor. If we're bored and we're conditioned that we want a snack, that can be a big reason why we just give in. And maybe our mind keeps telling us that we can snack, it doesn't matter. And we are conditioned that food is a comfort or a reward. Let's say we've had a hard day at work and we come home and we are conditioned that we can have a few snacks and a couple of chocolates or a drink of alcohol. So understanding that we have been taught maybe by our mothers with good intentions that food is comforting. It's a comfort reward that we reward ourselves after a hard day at work. Maybe it's a negative self-talk. So we are talking to ourselves and we have been lack of self-esteem. We think we're not good enough. We think we don't deserve to be good. And sometimes some people have, they give in and they think, oh, it's too hard. I don't want to do it. Let's just give in. I'm going to eat the snack, eat the chocolate, and be comfortable for now. So that is a negative self-talk that we talk to ourselves that we just can't do it. And then some people have biological factors. Some people have addictive personalities. You might know that you are addicted to something. It could be alcohol, it could be cigarette, or it could be sugar and processed foods. So some people have these addictive behaviors that once they start, they can't stop. Once they start eating some sugar, maybe they start eating a biscuit, a Tim Tam, they have to eat the whole packet because once they start, they can't stop. These are a lot to do with our neural chemicals, neurotransmitters in our brain, because these foods are really geared to make you addicted. It's also to do with the neurotransmitters like dopamine in seeking pleasure and our reward system related to eating. So once we start, we can't stop. The food is engineered to make you do that. Once you start eating a chip, you can't stop eating a chip because the processed foods have been designed to tap into your bliss point. You are wired to keep eating it. So maybe you realize that if you have an addictive personality, maybe you just don't start. You know that starting will not make you stop. Once you start, you can't stop. Sometimes just being mindful of these factors will help you. So again, some people have a really strong food addiction personality and they might not be able to moderate their behavior. Once they crave, they lose control, and then they feel guilty and shameful of these self-sabotaging behaviors. So it might be just a matter of understanding what your personality is like. And a lot of these addiction behaviors is you need to have a tool. You need to have lots of tools to manage these addiction. And we can come to talk about it in a couple of minutes. Then there's social and environmental factors that makes you have this self-sabotaging behavior. If you're going out for dinner, you have society pressures on eating. If everybody else is eating chips and desserts and sugar and cakes and biscuits, It is very hard to go against the grain. We are social animals, and if everybody else do the same thing, doing against the grain, doing something different is hard. And there's advertising, marketing, there's posters on buses and trams and social media that going to eat sugar, going to eat desserts is a social thing. And sometimes it's hard to not eat the carbs, and it's actually quite difficult to find the good foods in food court and restaurants. So our environment have a lot to do with these unhealthy eating and eating habits. And then there's the comfort of doing the same thing over and over again. If you do the same thing, you know the outcome would be the same because you are conditioned to do the same thing and it makes you feel comfortable. It is also a fear of change. Doing something different is unknown. Fear of the unknown can be a big factor that you don't want to do something different. Our body is wired to do the same thing over and over again. Sometimes it's hard to go out of your comfort zone. The modern lifestyle is geared to do lots of comforting behaviors. It's hard to go against the comfort. The whole society is very comforting. We have our comfortable lounge, we have comfort, we can call Uber Eats for comfort eating. We don't have to get out of the house to cook. We can just go on the app and call for Uber Eats and call for takeaway. And we are wired to stay in our comfort zone. And we're lacking the training in hardiness, in getting out of comfort zone. So doing hard things is actually really good for us and it's good training. So I've outlined quite a few reasons on why you might be self-sabotaging because of the environment, because of social pressures, because you might have an addiction, because of dopamine seeking behavior, or maybe you're stressed and comfort eating is comfortable because you're wired and taught to do that from a very young age. So how can we get out of this self-sabotaging behaviors? What are some of the strategies that we can use to overcome self-sabotage? First of all, being mindful and being aware that these are the reasons that I've just talked about. So practicing mindfulness, being aware that these are the things that triggers us. Learning to emotional regulate can be a very good technique. If you're stressed, you don't have to seek out the foods for comforting. You might want to do other ways of emotional regulation. Maybe you need to sit with discomfort. Maybe you need to learn that being uncomfortable is great for you. Let's say I have a craving for nuts while I'm driving home. I can tell myself, look, it's normal because I've developed this habit and I don't have to listen to this craving. So learning how to emotional regulate can be a very good thing. You might want to do some slow breathing exercises that I like to talk about. Practicing positive self-talk is a really good thing to combat the negative self-talk. You can practice self-compassion. I always talk about if you don't look after yourself, you can't look up after everybody else. Some mums just concentrate on looking after the kids. You have to look after yourself, otherwise you can't look after anybody else. Developing healthy habits. It's a muscle that you can strengthen, and developing healthy routines. The more you do it, the easier you get because you get into a habit. Having a supportive system can be a very good thing. Just like my Low Carb Pro membership program, having a healthy, supportive community. We know what's happening. We know that it is hard. We know addictive behaviors is difficult. Sometimes just having the support system, maybe you just need to text a friend, look, I'm craving for nuts. I'm craving for cheese. Then maybe we give you some feedback. Look, it's fine. Sit in it. The cravings will only last 10, 15 minutes. Sit in this discomfort and it'll pass. Maybe you just need the text back to say that, look, it's fine. We can also do some practical exercises like journaling. I do a gratitude journal. Every night before I go to bed, I do a gratitude journal. I look back on what's happened in my life that day and I pick 3 things that I'm grateful for. So practicing a grateful journal will wire your body to think of the good things that's happened. Congratulate yourself that you did some intermittent fasting. You didn't eat until lunchtime. Congratulate yourself that you didn't grab those nuts that you were craving for. Congratulate yourself that you didn't grab those chocolates that are not going to be good for you and sabotaging your healthy lifestyle. Practice mindful eating. Be mindful of what's going in your mouth. Chew your food 30 times before you swallow it. That's mindful eating. Being mindful of the food's good or the food's not so good can be really good. Another point is we can also practice visualization. So it's an exercise that focused on thinking about the positive outcomes and of healthy behaviors. Visualize yourself that in 4 weeks' time you would have lost 2 kilos and you can fit into the dress that you want to do because you have a wedding coming up or you have your son's wedding. You're going to be a mother-in-law and you're going to fit into the dress just to lose the 2 or 4 kilos that you want to do. So visualizing the good energy that you're going to have if you eat good, because you're going to reduce your brain fog, you're going to be less bloated, and your bowel's going to work better. That might be a very good thing before you grab those naughty food chocolates. So I hope this has been a good podcast episode for you. So being mindful on what's happening in your mind when you do self-sabotaging behaviors and realizing there's so many exercises and techniques that you can do, positive self-talks, mindfulness, practicing journaling, and visualizing the success that you're going to have if you stick to a healthy lifestyle. Let me know what you think. Give me some feedback, and I hope this has been a helpful podcast episode to learn about self-sabotaging behaviors and how to overcome it. Until next time, I will keep prescribing lifestyle, stick to healthy food and good lifestyle. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Prescribing Lifestyle Podcast. Before we wrap up, I have an exciting news to share. I have a new ebook called Low Carb Made Easy. It's now available. This guide is perfect for anyone looking to dive into the low carb lifestyle. Inside you'll find the basic theory behind low carb eating, a detailed food list, practical meal plan, and a variety of delicious recipes. It's designed to make a journey to better health easier, simpler, and enjoyable. For those who prefer a hard copy, head over to my website and register your interest using the link provided. My website is www.mlcclinic.com.au. Head to online store. Remember, the information shared in this podcast, it's for educational purposes only and not proper medical advice. Always consult your medical professional before making any changes to your lifestyle and diet, or you can come and see me in Melbourne Low Carb Clinic. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with us on social media. Your feedback will help us improve and reach more listeners. Lastly, if you found this episode helpful, please share it with your friends and family. Together, we can make a positive impact to our health and our communities. Thanks again for listening, and as always, stay healthy and happy. Until next time.